Good morning. How do I file my employee's W-2? He filed W-2 and W-3 with Social Security Administration. If you collect compensation from your business, assuming your business is an S-corp or LLC taxed as an S-corp, then you are an employee of your business. If you are an LLC or a sole proprietor, you can now collect salary from your business as an employee. It will be more like a draw. But as an LLC treated as an S-corp or an S-corp or a corporation, you could be treated as an officer or an employee of your business and collect salary. Therefore, you are the first employee of your business and you are required to file W-2 and W-3 with Social Security Administration. If you have not done it before, we could go through the process and it is due by January 31st in general. So I like to go with the general date than trying to be specific for a particular tax year. But for filing for 2020 in 2021, it is due by the deadline is February 1st, 2021. You don't file W-2 and W-3 with IRS. You have to file it with Social Security Administration. You do not pay the tax withheld and the employer share of Social Security and Medicare. You do not pay that to Social Security Administration. You pay that to IRS, or you deposit it with the IRS. But you file the W-2 with Social Security Administration, and you file Form 941 if you are required to file quarterly, or you file Form 944 if you are required to file annually with IRS. So how do you file W-2 and W-3 electronically with Social Security Administration? You'll go to their website, is SSA.gov/employer, and on the right side you will click on Business Service Online. If you have not registered before, then you will click on Register. But if you have registered before, then you will click on Login. And if you are, if you are, that's the first time you are trying to register, it will ask for your personal information and it will ask for the business information as well. And for your personal information to be your first, middle, last name, it will be more of the person that is going to enter the W-2 in the system. And your Social Security, and it'll ask for your employer, your business information as well. So when you log in, on the left sidebar, you could either click on Update, Add Update Employer Information, and you can update your business information there if you don't have all the information in for it. You could also click on Edit, View Edit Account Information under Manage Account. When you do that, it will take you to your personal information where you could retrieve your user ID and the security questions that you answered, and you should save those information because your user ID does not change. The password does change every 90 days, I believe. But if you forget your user ID, you could call their number on their website and they'll be able to assist you. And I believe the phone number is 1-800-772 6270, and they'll be able to assist you if you call between 7 a.m. and 7 p.m. during the weekday Eastern time. They'll give you the user ID and you have to enter the password. But if you don't remember the password, then you will be requested to answer some of your security questions. And if you get it wrong, it will log you out. After a few trials, then they have to send you the password by the mail. So make sure you save your user ID and your security questions in a safe place so that you'll be able to put those in without having to go through their service, their call service, to open their account. And I mean, at least when I called them, they were very good at answering quickly, and I was able to talk with somebody over the phone. And once you log in, on the page Wage Reporting Attestation, you'll have to click on I accept to go forward. Then you'll have the page Electronic Wage Reporting, EWR. On this page, you could create Form W2, W3 online. Under Form W2, W3 online, you could, there is a button for Form W2C/W3C online, and then upload formatted wages file, and then they have AccuWage online as well. So you could either key in the W2 and W3 up to 50s. You could enter 50 W2s. You could use you could upload as well, and I believe you could enter about 50 a day, but you have to, up to 50 Form W3 can be saved at a time to be resumed, submitted at a later date. So fill in the form, save, print, and submit Form W2 and W3 with up to 50 forms W2 per W3. There are no limits on the number of forms W3 an employer can submit, even for the same employer and notification number. Okay, so and then you will click on, and something to keep in mind, if you want to view your submission, if you save it, you didn't submit it right away, you want it to come back and review, you could click on view employer record status or view submission status. So you have those options here as well. And you have save, print, submitted W2s. And when you submit a W2, you have up to 30 days to print the PDF version of it. So when you submit, I'll just suggest you print it right away so that you don't forget. So what we are going to do, we are going to click on Create Resume Form W2 W3 Online under Form W2 W3 Online. When you do that, you'll have the next form, which is Form W2 W3 Online. And here you will make sure the right year is selected, which will be 2020. For whom are you filing? So when you click on this, please select. You'll have option for another employer or your name. You will see your name, the name of your business as well, and you can click on your business name, and automatically it will show the EIN for your business, but it's good to double check that. Please select the type of W-2 form, regular or territorial. So when you click on the arrow, you'll have options. So they have W-2s for island, for United States islands, and then they have W-2 for the United States, for people living in the US, and that's the regular W-2. So you will select the regular W-2 if you are located in one of our 50 states. Is it 50 or 51? Okay, so don't quote me on that. But anyway, if you live in the United States, you click on regular W-2s. So have you received a reconciliation letter? So if you have now, you just don't click on that. You just leave it blank. And there is some exceptions here. If none apply to you, you just leave it blank and click on continue at the bottom of the screen. So at the bottom of the screen, there is on the right side, you have continue and you click on it. Next, you'll have Form W-2, W-3 online. On this page, you could see the different steps that needs to be taken. The first one is the employer information. The second one is Form W-2. The third one is W-2 lease. And then you have W-3 preview, print, review, sign, submit, and submission confirmation, and then you have save PDF. And this step is employer information for this wage report. And pretty much you will review your business information. You'll have your business information on this page. You just have to double check or enter them. And you click on continue to go to the next page. The next page will probably on the same page. I believe that will be the same page, and that so you'll have enter review employer information. So we are still on step 1. So you will put employer, your business name, your business EIN, the country, your business address, and on the line 1, I believe it has, if you are the one filing, it might have your name as address 1 and address 2, the business street address, something like that. And then you have the city and the state and zip code. And at the bottom, you'll have contact information for this submission. So you are the one submitting the W-2s. You'll put your name, your phone number. And on the same page or that same step, you'll have other information. And if it does not apply to you, you just leave it blank. Kind of payer. Well, in this, you'll notice that you have option between if you are a 941 filer, a house employer, 943 for agriculture, 944, that's a regular one, that's the annual employer's annual federal tax return, and 941 is the quarterly tax return. Then they have city 1, medical, government, and military. So at the bottom, kind of employer, and they have more like non-profits and federal. And if none apply to you, you just don't check anything. So under kind of payer, if you are 941 filer, then you check the box next to 941. Otherwise, if you are 944 annual tax filer, then you check 944. And For kind of employer, if you are not a federal government, a tax exempt and state and local government or state and local tax exempt employer, you just check the box none apply. And you click on continue, or if that's still on the same page, well, you just continue, pretty much answering any question you were asked. And you could see that under employer information for the wage report, it will show your business name, and in that section there is W2s, and it's after you click on next or continue that it will show you this page. So pretty much it's going to show you a page where you for what you have entered in the past, like last year or prior year. So here for this instance is it has report available 1, and it will show the date you submit the W2 previously and the number of W2s you submitted. And you will click, and there you'll have option to choose if you want to use the use the previous one to continue, or if you want to start a new one. So for assuming that it might be your first time, I just click like if I'm going to start a new one. So it didn't populate information that I have in file for that employee, which is myself. So I had to enter all of those things so that I can capture, the different step to show it to share it with you. So, but if you have filed before, you'll have that option to choose to go from what you have in file or to just start over. So the next page you'll be, which is the step 2, form W2, you'll pretty much enter information for that employee. So that means at some point you have up to 50 to enter per one W3. So this is the first one, and you'll enter the employee social security number. The employee identification number should be there already, and you can double check to make sure it's accurate. And you'll enter the total wages in box 1 of W2, while you pay the employee for the whole year, and box 3 you enter federal income tax withheld for the whole year. And that continue. And you pretty much enter the employee's first name, middle name, last name. And what I like to do is just use capital. So you can just press the caps lock of your keyboard to just lock it and just enter everything capitals. And you'll enter the employee's address as well, state, zip code. And at the bottom you'll have states. So you'll enter the state ID and the state ID number, the employee ID number. Remember, your state ID number might be different from your business EIN number. The beginning will be the same. In fact, it might be the same, but at the end, your state might add few more numbers, making your state employer ID number a little bit longer than your main federal ID number for your business. So just don't put your employer identification number here on line B, which is the one you got from IRS. Don't put it in box 15 for the state. You might want to check letters you got from your state for your withholding permit number. It will have your number there, and in fact your state withholding number is your EIN for the state. And I can double check it here to see how the wording is for the state of Iowa. Yeah, it could be your state withholding permit number. And that's the number you'll put in box 15. But we can come back to the state side. So on top, after you enter your Social Security, you'll enter Social Security, wages, and income withheld, Medicare wages, and Medicare tax withheld, and pretty much everything else. And when you are entering those numbers, make sure you enter the cents part of it as well. And pretty much that's the way the form look. And by the way, we will have a podcast version of this. We'll have a podcast, the video, and then we'll have a few narrative on our blog as well, in case you want to just listen to how to fill up your W3 and W2 with SSA while you are filling it up. You could just use the podcast version of it. Or if you want to see the visual, then that will be on our YouTube. And the narrative and probably the gallery images will be on our blog as well. So you could see that you have all the boxes here, and you'll fill them out. And if the sense is 0 is good, you put, like I have $100, so I put 100.00. And the federal income tax withheld is $22. I put in box 2 22.00. For Social Security wages is the same as box 1, and Social Security tax withheld in box 4 is 6.20. Box 5 Medicare wages and tip is the same as box 1 100.00, and box 6 Medicare tax withheld is 1.45. Social Security tip, box 7 I left it blank. Allocated tips I left it blank, box 8. And box 11, box 12A, box 12B, box 12C, box 12D, box 13, box 14, I left them all blank because I didn't have any entry and I didn't want to put 0 there either. So the state, you'll have state wages, which is the same as box 1 for in my case, so that's 100.00 for box 16. Box 17 state income tax withheld is 0.00. Box 18 local wages tips is the same as box 16, 100.00. And 19, box 19 local income tax is 0.00. Personally, for my case, box 18 and 19 were not necessary. But depending on the state you live in, it might be. So just keep that in mind. But I did feel it completed here. And once you are done, you'll have step 3, W2 list. So to review or edit a W2, select the employee name. Once you are finished entering Form W2, you can preview the W3. So you'll have the name, the SSN, and the wage box. And the total should be the $100 that we entered for our case. And you have the option to save and quit, edit employer information, start a new W-2, continue to W-3 preview. So we click on continue to W-3 preview because we only have one W-2 to enter. So from W-2, W-3 online, step 4, W-3 preview. And W-3 preview for this submission. Ensure that the information on your form W-2 for this employer reconciles with the total of Form 941, 943, 944, or Schedule H that you file with the Internal Revenue Service. So that means you either file 944 before you file W-2, W-3, or if you file W-2, W-3 before you are filing 944, you make sure the totals are the same. So if you are filing 941, then it will be the total of all your 941 as well. Because 941 you'll file for quarters. And 944 you'll file 1 for the annual. So the total for those lines, box 1, box 3, box 5, box 2, box 4, box 6 should be the same as you put on Form 944. In our case, because we chose 944 kind of employer, non-apply, number of W-2s, we have 1. So and that's the W-3 here. Pretty much is submitting the total wages paid during the year to employees in our business, the total federal tax withheld, the total social security wages, and the total social security tax withheld, the total Medicare wages and tips, and the total tax withheld, Medicare tax withheld. So that means you could either pull Form 944 and check those numbers. And as you can see, boss 1 is 100.00, boss 2 is 22.00 on the Form 944 that we previously filed with IRS, and we have a video on that as well in the playlist how to file Form 944 for 2020, I believe. So line 1 and 2 March. So line 3 and 4 of W3, we could go back to our Form 944 and check Social Security. Here is 100 and 1240. But you have to pay attention here. They say Social Security tax withheld, Medicare tax withheld. And on Form, let's go back again. On Form 944, it is the total here for Social Security. So that will be half of this for the employee. The part withheld from the employee will be half of $12.40, which will be $6.20, yes. And then total Medicare tax, the amount here is for the employee and the employer on the Form 944. So $2.90 divided by 2 will be $1.45 for the employee, for the one withheld from the employee's wages, $1.45. So that's how you will match those data. Now that we know our W-3 is accurate, we can see how it looks like. So wages, we check the box 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So you'll notice that the boxes that are left blank automatically, the website puts 000 there for us. So note, the state and local total below reflect a summary of the state and local data you entered on the form's W-2. If you use this form for reporting to your state and your state has different rules for reporting those totals, you may enter your own totals using your state rules without affecting the amount on the form W-2s. Social Security will now use this information and will now forward it to any state or local entity. You must check here to confirm those are the totals you want to show on this form W-3. And we have box 16 for the state 100, box 17 state income 0. And then you will click I agree before it will allow you to go forward. So by filing with Social Security Administration does not mean you automatically file with your state. You have to file with your state as well. So you will select if you want the Social Security number to be fully displayed or truncated. And then you'll click on continue, or save and quit, or return to W-2 list. So if everything is accurate for you, you just click on continue. So we check the box SN, Social Security numbers will be fully displayed. And then we click on continue again. And we check the box I agree as well. And you will be prompted to the page in step 5, preview and review. So you'll have the option, you have W-2 and W-3 form here to print, and what they recommend is you right click on it. So you right click and you will save a copy. You will save the link on your computer before you click normally on it to print it. So and then you print a copy. So print the PDF file below to review your unsubmitted forms W-2 and W-3. We recommend that you right click the print unsubmitted link and use the save target as option to save the unsubmitted forms to your hard drive for review. Once you have reviewed your forms W-2 and W-3, give copies to your employees. So how do you give W-2s to your employees? When you file your W-2 and W-3 with Social Security Administration, the one you'll print out, you'll be able to give copies to your employees. Ask them to review the information before you submit the final form W-2s to Social Security. Please know that the PDF provided is for printing and record keeping purposes to be provided to your employees. If you need to change any W-2 information, please select the Return to W-2 List button. When you believe the W-2 information is accurate, you can continue to sign and submit step. So you can save and quit, return to W-2 list, or continue. But before you continue, right click on the print and submit W-2 W-3 file, save a copy on your computer, and now click and print it out so that you have copies to review and check with and give to your employees as well. And then you click continue. The next page that will open will pretty much show you is the W3 layout. When you click on print, so you'll notice that kind of payer is select the type of file, employers federal tax return that we are going to file, which is 944 in our case. It check it for us, kind of employer non-apply because we are now federal government. And the number of W2 submitted, 1 on boss C, the total wages $100, and the federal income tax we've had on boss 2, $22. And pretty much boss 2 Social Security and Medicare, it'll pretty much a summary of all those informations. Pretty much like if you key in more than one W2, it'll be the total of all the W2s you entered. And it continue, and it's going to be a summary of a boss 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of W2s and all the way to the state. And we just look at it, it should match what you put in. We have $100 for wages, $22 for federal income tax we've had, $6.20 for social security tax we've had, because that's 6.2% for the employee and 6.2% for the employer. So what we've had is $2.20 out of that 100. Medicaid tax we've had is $1.45, and that's the only taxes that we've had from the income, and nothing for the states. And the bottom of the form will have W3 transmittal of wage and state and tax statement. Purpose of form. So complete a form W3 only when filing paper. Complete copy A of form W2 wages and tax statements. Okay. Complete a form W3 transmittal only when filing paper. Copy A of form W2 wages and tax statement. Don't file form W3 alone. All paper forms must comply with IRS standard and be machine readable. Photocopies are not acceptable. Use a form W3 even if only one paper form W2 is being filed. Make sure both the form W3 and forms W2 show the correct tax year and employer identification number EIN. Make a copy of this form and keep it with copy D for employer of forms W2 for your record. The IRS recommends returning copies of those forms for 4 years. And for employer record only. So do not send this form W3 to the Social Security Administration. The information contained in this form was not submitted to the Social Security Administration. This copy of your W2 and your W2s and W3 is intended for review purposes. Once your employees have confirmed the accuracy, please remember to return to this site to submit the information to the Social Security Administration. And that's the W3. So once we printed the unsubmitted copy, we went back to the site pretty much the same day because we didn't log out of the website. Sign and submit under penalty. So you pretty much are going to agree that your information you enter is accurate. So you check the box that you read and agree. And you either save and quit, click on preview, or you click on submit this wage report. So step 7, confirmation receipt. Your W2 W3 file was received, and that will be the message you'll get, and that will show a summary of your W3 as well. And keep a printout of this page. That'll be the W3 page. So what you should do next, so keep a printout of this page for 4 to 7 years as proof of your filing date. Print and distribute the Form W2 to your employees if you have not already done so. Do not mail us any paper Form W2 or W3. And what to expect. You can check the status of your submission by selecting the View Submission Status link from the electronic wages reporting homepage. Please note, if your address or phone number has changed, remember to correct it in IRS record by using the IRS Form 941. Contact the IRS for more information. If you need to make a correction of this wage report, ensure that the status of the report is complete. Then you can use the W2C application to make corrections. So that's the confirmation receipt, pretty much, that you need to print and keep for up to 7 years as a proof of filing, and gives you the option to print this page or to go to save official PDF. So the next step, after you print that page, you click on go to save official PDF. So when you click on it, you will have the final PDF that you will click on to print out and save as well. So save the official PDF file below to your hard drive so that you can reference it later. Once you have closed this session, the file will only be available for 30 days. Saving it to your hard drive will allow you to reference it later. And that will still give you a message not to mail them any paper W2 or W3 because you just file it online with them. So you could either go home, EWR home, or start a new report. So if you have more than 50 W2s to enter, you enter 50s. Then you can enter another 50 or so. So if you just follow the instructions, you'll see what to do. So if we click on EWR home, then it'll bring us back to electronic wage reporting page, where you could click on view submission status, you have options to make corrections on that as well. And that's how you e-file W2 and W3 with Social Security Administration. It's very simple and easy to do, I will say, compared to filing it on paper. And you could go through IRS website to read the instructions, but I will have links on some instructions how to fill out the W2 W3 on the SSA website. I'll have links to those handbook on our blog under free download 2020 federal tax form and instructions, so that if you want to read the handbook, you'll be able to click on it. And IRS have some instructions on it as well. I might have the link there as well, and you could read what IRS is saying about it. You cannot just print W2 form from IRS websites completed and just mail it in. If it's not, they have to scan it. So if it's not scannable, you might be charged a penalty and interest on those penalties. So if you don't file on time, so it's just better you just go online and file online with Social Security. But if you want to file paper, you have to request the form from IRS. They will send it to you and you'll be able to complete it. I don't know if they have the electronic version that they will, the PDF version that they will send you. I'm not sure, but it's just simple. You go online and get it done very quickly so that you can get it done before the end of January. If you are a sole proprietor and you have an employee, I'm not talking about yourself, but an employee, well, you are required and you withheld income tax on your employee, you are required to file W-2s. If you are the only employee of your business, an S Corp, for instance, and you didn't pay yourself any salary, then you don't need to file any W-2s. But if you are required to file Form 944 or Form 941, you have to file it. Whether you collect salary from your business or not, you'll file them. They'll just be zero. But you don't need to file W-2 or W-3 if you don't collect any salary from your own business and you are the only employee of your business. Or if you have a business and you have 0 employees, you don't need to file Form W-2. You only file it if you have an employee or you are the employee and you collect some salary. So that's that. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for listening to our podcast. Thank you for watching our videos, and thank you for reading our blog. Thank you all that subscribe to our channel. Thank you all that subscribe to our blog, and we thank you for all your comments. I'm Afiavi Ojune Liberman, creators of Liberman Consulting L.L.C YouTube channel, Liberman Consulting L.L.C podcast, SSA.gov our blog, and we do have our online stores including natural products, SSA.gov, custom apparels, Liberlabel.com, resell products, Liberoutlets.com, and digital products, Liberdownload.com. You need to have a list of all the taxes you need to pay and when you should pay them so that nothing falls through the cracks. You don't forget to file anything. Yesterday we have a video on how to file the taxes, the business taxes due in January. So we have that. You could watch it if you are confused about why tax you need to file next, so that you can refresh your memory. And we will have a PDF version of that at liberdownload.com if you wanted to purchase it and have it in your business folder or binder, so that you can just check the taxes that you already filed. So thank you so much.